folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Chain Gang War, Issue 1 by DC. Now there is violence, killing, blood, guns, imprisoning someone, chains, mafia, corruption, a fucking big guy who's probably a serial killer. Or at least really likes chopping up people. Oh, a chainsaw, body parts, and more blood. And, crazy people in this one. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's our team. I do recognize John Wagner from here. I've heard of him. And also, was David Oakley? Was it one second. David Oakley? Was it? Sorry, Bill Oakley. I recognize him too. From somewhere. I'm not sure where. I have heard of him anyway. Yeah, and that's about it. The rest, not sure. Alright. So, I've been recommended this comic by my friend Andrew, Silver Knight Comics. At the end of my videos, you'll see in the circle is a link to his channel. Check him out. But yes, he recommended me this one. He read it and said that I would probably like it. And oh boy, he was right. So, I got it, and now I finally read it. So, let's dive into the story. Oh, before that, I love the cover. It's got a bit of, I think, the emboss kind on the chains and the letters, mainly. I don't think on these guys. No, oops, wait. Just on the chain, I think. That's cool. Also a little bit shiny. Alright, so let's start our story. Our story begins in... I don't think they mention what city or anything. Anyway, we got, the first image is our three main characters. And someone holding bars is behind bars. So that was cool. Alright, so we start with a courthouse. And someone's coming out, and the reporter lady's waiting for him. So it's a man called Carlo Brunetti. I don't know if I butchered the surname. I'll leave it here on screen. Yes, Carlo Brunetti. So he's a mafia man, a mafia boss. There's a mafia in this city. And he just got out. What do you call the legal term? I just got cleared of murder charges that were put against him by the jury. He was cleared by the jury, I mean. And then there's this reporter lady approaching him to ask him, how does he feel? Does he feel also bewildered like the people that he got out free again? And how does he explain something about the murder of this man? And he gets all angry about the jump on her, but his men hold him back, and then his lawyer swiftly talks to the reporter lady, telling him, yes, Mr. Brunetti's innocent and all that, yada, yada, yada. And then Mr. Brunetti goes into his limo. And does he yell at her? He yells something at her. I don't remember exactly what he said anymore. Anyway, that's it. He drives away, and you see the reporter lady standing there saying, no one, even the justice system is failing the city. No one's doing anything, and these criminals walk free. Then we cut to his house of Carlo Brunetti. He's sitting there with his men. Oh, wait, slightly before that, we see figures approaching the house, jumping over the big fence and hitting the guy that's there. At the lodge. I guess the keeper of the lodge. They hit him, break his glasses, poor thing, and then they hang him on the gate. Not by his neck, just they hang him there by his arms. He's alive, don't worry. Then we see them all preparing. Then we go into Carlo Brunetti's house in the lodge. And he's sitting there watching the reporter lady. He's saying, yeah, you're right, no one messes with me. He gets all angry like. He's got three men with him there. And one approaches him with a glass, he grabs him. I want this reporter dead when this whole thing dies down. Call the animal to take care of her. I hear he has a new chainsaw. They'll find her in 5 different states. Yes, Carlo Brunetti's guilty and out for more blood. Can't relax this dude, can he? Wait until we get to the animal, by the way. You're gonna love him. Yes, as he said that, suddenly one of our 3 men yells from outside, Carlo Brunetti. And they're all like, what the fuck? So they go to check. They see the 3 men, who are they? So Carlo sends 2 of his men to go out back and, shoot them while he talks to them through the window. But the 3rd one is already standing there, standing at the door where they're exiting from, saying, we knew you'd plan something. And he tells her, don't be stupid, just walk away, we won't, and he shoots them. Wait, I first see they catch them there, he's like, look, just leave here, we don't want you, and you'll come out of this alive, but of course they don't, and he just shoots and kills them. Well, what to do? Then, tells that to the 3rd guy, actually. Because he shoots them, then the 3rd guy appears, and he shoots him as well. This dude right here, where you can see his hair is a bit shocked. He's like, you didn't have to kill them. Why did you... He shoots him, and then one guy falls back, one of his goons, bleeding and everything. Anyway, they capture Carlo, not Carl. Brunetti, I'll call him. They capture Brunetti, he's like, who are you? Why are you here? What do you want? And then this guy here, he's a violent one, just hits him over the head, knocks him out, while after they put the handcuffs on. And then I think maybe this one here tells him, hey, we want him alive. And then he answers, we said alive, no one said anything about healthy. Oh dear, if he has permanent brain damage, he might die from that, just saying. Anyway, they grab him and they leave. And we see him wake up in a cell somewhere. I think this place is somewhere underground. It has these prison cells and a lot of pipes. Not inside the cell itself, but outside. So it's somewhere underground, I think. He's there all alone, screaming. His hands and feet are shackled, too. Not to something, just long shackles on them. So he's yelling, what do you want? Then we move on to... what happened there afterwards? I just read this, but sometimes the events escape me. Okay, yeah, there we go. So the police arrives. The one guy that lived, can't help them much. The reporter lady's there again. I'll leave her name here on screen because I forgot it already. Haley something? Anyway, she's reporting that, he's been taken, that there's been, the other men are killed. The lodge keeper, though, got some new glasses really fast, so that's good. Unless his didn't break completely. But anyway, because, they hit him and he didn't get a good look at them, he can't really say how they looked. And the police is there, and the reporter lady's talking, how people don't really shed much of a tear what happened. But, do they have to wait for gunmen to help them? You see the bodies being wheeled away, on gurneys and everything. And then we move on to a household. You have a wife cooking and yelling to someone called Ernie. So Ernie is this guy over here. You see, the one in the back, in the brownish coat, and it's a little bit pink. But anyway, it's this one. His name is Ernie. And he's yelling to his wife, "I'm awake," and we see him hearing the report on the TV as well. He gets up and he goes, we see him, he's looking at his hands and they're slightly shaking. And then he says, my hands are shaking. I haven't had something like this since Nam. Now he says Nam, I think he might mean Vietnam. Perhaps. There's a chance he was a soldier in the Vietnam War. I think, unless Nam is referring to something else. I think it might be the war in Vietnam. Could be wrong, though. I'm not sure if anyone knows. I mean, it might be slang for Vietnam, though. Oh, he goes out to his wife, asking her if the kids go to school. He says, "Ernie, it's almost 2 p.m. The kids are almost home." And she's cooking. She's telling him, "Come on, you gotta get your butt in gear, because you have that job interview." And he hugs her and says, "The hell with it. I don't want to be a janitor anyway." And she tells him, "Well, my salary isn't gonna keep us going forever." And she works as a nurse. And then suddenly he pulls out like $1,000 and shows her. Now she's not really happy about it. She's like, "Where'd you get this?" And he tells her, "That's what I did last night." So yeah, in the timeline of the story, that's the next day. "That's what I did last night. I went and did a job for Yale." Now Yale is this guy here, the one you see his hair and the green mask. That's Yale. And then he lies to his wife and says, "I didn't do anything illegal." And she tells him, "I don't like your new friends, especially this Yale guy." And he tells her, Yale has more money than sense. And we see him, like squares for his thoughts, where he says, "I know I'm lying. This is crazy, Curtis. This is Curtis. Curtis is crazy, and the whole thing with Yale. And what have we got ourselves into?" And then he finishes it with, "We're all crazy here." And yeah, he's not wrong. One moment. Fuck. I keep forgetting. Well, in the old comics, a lot more happens, so it's harder to forget. The newer ones, sometimes you go through the whole thing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he says, "Hell, we're all crazy." Alright, then we move on back to Brunetti. A guy in overalls and a shirt goes down to where he's locked up and brings him a pizza. Puts it down in front of the cell. And the way the cells are, I'll show you, but they're not like the usual prison cells. There's like a little, the entrance is little. You have to crawl and then just jump down. Sound like the usual prison cell. So I wonder if this is some kind of jail or something else. I think it used to be a jail, because there are beds down there. It would be interesting to find out that part in the future. Yes, he brings him a pizza, and Brunetti's all like, "Who are you? What is this? Is this, I'll leave the other guy's name here, but anyway, he's a mafia boss as well. And he and Brunetti had some issues, but they supposedly talked it out. So he thinks that he's the one who organized his kidnapping. As all this, and the guy just leaves the pizza and says, yeah, I suppose it is, you're imprisoned here. And he starts to leave, and Brunetti yells at him, "Wait, get me out of here, I'll make you a rich man." And he asks, "What does that make you?" And then the guy laughs and says, "I guess that makes me your warden." And then that's it. He leaves. And then we move on to a very pretty mansion. So the mansion, I think, is kind of a mansion. And we see Yale. Okay, so Ernie lives in this, I think, regular apartment. Has probably a hard life. And I did say kids, so I guess they have more than one. And he lives probably not in the best neighborhood, I think. Yale is very rich. I don't know what he does, we don't learn yet. But obviously, whatever it is, he has a lot of money. A lot of money. Based on the size of his mansion. His name is Yale Strang. Perhaps he's an owner of a company of some sorts. But anyway, we see him hunched in front of the toilet vomiting after what happened last night. He's, well, obviously, most of us would feel sick after seeing someone shot. Although he's one of the organizers of this whole thing, still probably didn't expect to see this so soon. But he's, tells himself, get a grip, you knew this would happen. He's getting up from the toilet, going to his desk, and we see a picture of a lady. It says, to Yale, love, with love. I think that was a girlfriend or something that he really loved, and something happened to her. I think it might be connected probably to this whole thing with the gangs, and that's why he's doing it. And we see the warden guy. His name is Polly. Polly? What was his name? Polly, I think. Has a funny name. What was it? Sorry, Loopy. Yeah, Loopy. His name is Loopy. Kind of remind me of the One Piece character. Yeah, Loopy. It looks like Loopy's also working for Yale. I don't know, maybe he's his butler. He's the Alfred to his Bruce Wayne. I'm kidding, he's not like Batman. But yeah, I'll leave his name up here too, just in case. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Loopy. The One Piece character is Luffy, but never mind, kind of similar. And Yale asks him, I didn't know Yale was actually a name, I thought it was just the Learning Institute. The college Yale. Yes, there's a college like that, right? In America? I think there is. Yeah, he asks him, Yale asked Loopy, how is he? He means Brunetti. And he tells him, not happy about it, that's for sure. Offered to make me a rich man. And then Yale picks up the picture and says, money isn't everything. Oh yeah, he must have lost that girl. Because he even says he's out there somewhere happy about what happened. With his ex-girlfriend, I would presume. Ex-girlfriend. His dead girlfriend, sorry. Who was in the next. So it looks like Loopy, is loyal to Yale. Suppose he works for him for a long time. Well, anyway, he's loyal enough to participate in this whole thing. And then Yale gets a call and answers, and it's Curtis calling him. So Curtis asks him, are you alright, kid? And Yale says, yeah, I'm fine. I'll pick you up in an hour. Get a grip. And then we see Yale, not Yale, and then Curtis is talking, yeah, you better get a grip, kid. Because what we got ourselves into, if we get caught, we'll go to jail for a very long time, and I'm not going back there again. Alright, so far we have our three main characters. We have Ernie. Here, we have Ernie, who's a family man. I presume he used to be a soldier, if I'm correct about Nam being Vietnam. And, like many, I'm sure, struggling to find a job afterwards. We have Yale, who's very rich, presumably a businessman, or perhaps just born into a rich family, who's lost his girlfriend to someone that might be connected to this whole mafia war. And then we have Curtis, who's fucking nuts. probably. I mean, that's it, because we kind of get a bit about Gail, we get a bit about Ernie, but we don't get much about Curtis. All we see of him is what I assume not a very nice apartment, even worse than Ernie's. Ernie's looks pretty decent. Well, Ernie has a family. Neither of these two have a family, I'm certain. Okay, so Curtis has already been in jail before. He's been in jail for something, so I presume he's a criminal. Now, it's very interesting how these three got together to do this. Because you would not think they go in the same circles. One's a rich man, the other one's your average man, and one's a criminal. So how have they come together to form this gang and, decide to clean up the city, essentially? Not sure. It'll be definitely interesting to find out later on. Alright, then we move on. Oh shit. I forgot one part before that. It was after he visits the... Oh, fuck, where was that? I was like, right before this, yeah, there we go, sorry. It was after, we see them in front of the lodge where Brunetti was. So we see his, there we go, his competition. And it's, what's his name? Scipio something. I'm definitely butchering it. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But yeah, Scipio. So he's on the phone with Brunetti's son, talking to him, it's not me, I've also heard about your dad, and, I even have my men out looking for him. We see him outside of his, I don't know, he sells cars or his business, something. If you need anything, if I hear anything about your dad, I'll call you immediately. And, my daughter, Gabby's having her birthday today. Maybe you'll come over. We have booze, women, everything. And he's like, I understand. And we see his son hanging up all angry like where's his dad? So it's unclear. He kind of thinks this guy's in on it, but he's not sure. And he tells his men to send the animal to find out information as well. So yeah, things are not working out. They don't know where he is. They're all looking though. Interesting, his son is blonde. I guess takes more after the mom. Yeah, so that was that bit in there too that I forgot. Alright, then we move on to them kidnapping the other guy, Scipio. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Yeah, Scipio. He's the same thing as before. They arrive at the place, they jump over the fence, they they knock out, one guard. I guess they hide him somewhere in the bushes. And then they start pouring gasoline on the grass to create a distraction. As before that, we see the party. It's Gabby's 21st birthday, blowing out the candles. Right before we continue, we go to the animal. So the animal's in a meat factory, and he's a massive guy, like kingpin massive. Fucking hell. He's got a nice suit and everything, and he wears an apron, kiss the cook. And he's got this guy who works for Scipio, and he's known to be one that has his ear to the heartbeat of everything. And then the guy's like yelling, "Animal, I don't know anything, I swear I just work for the guy." And the animal takes out a chainsaw and just saws his ear off. Ear off. Ugh, and the screaming and the blood. And he's like, "Now you really got your ear to the floor." Don't you? I will say, though, for such a big dude, he's very delicate with his movements. We don't see anything, but he sure cut off that ear very clean off. I'll give him that. It's like, holy shit. And then he's like, buddy, it hurts you more than it hurts me. I assume he probably butchered him completely with the chainsaw. Not butchered, but, you know, sawed him to little pieces or something. That dude's dead, basically. Most likely, which doesn't really help them. I wonder if later on they fight the big dude. They kill him. Oh man, I hope he doesn't capture one of them, because they're fucked. Ooh. Well, I suppose with teamwork, though, they can defeat him. He's not invincible, I hope. Where was I? Yes, then we go back to the party. They start a fire. The guards around, they see it and they're like, I don't know, they must have been from the fireworks, because they had fireworks for Gabby's birthday. Ah, there's Watson. Yes, they had fireworks for Gabby's birthday. They assume that's where the fire's from. These guys make a good team, though. Smart thinking. I wonder if they knew about the fireworks or decided to make a fire anyway. And I think they probably studied this stuff. I mean, make a plan very carefully before going. Because they seem to have made it without a hitch in the first one. So yes, the other guy's men, they wanted him to get inside the house in order to be safe while they call the fire department. But then our guys appear, take care of the bodyguards, and capture Scipio. They kill. Yeah, no, they knock him off this time. They'll kill him. Holy shit, Watson! You are gonna be in every video. Think no point in saying featuring Watson. People will get tired of it. Don't play with that. Bad kitty. Sit down. Sit still, anyway. Where was I? Yes, they grab him, but as they're about to take him away, his daughter, Gabby, comes down the stairs. Outside, she's like, Daddy. And then Curtis just smacks her right in the face. And tells him, you didn't have to do that. And he says, oh, relax, she's alive. And Scipio's like, what did you do to her? And Curtis yells at him, shut up. So yeah, as you can see, Curtis is very violent. Very violent. Watson, are you alright? You're spazzing. You okay, buddy? Sleepy? Are you alright, Watson? And you scare me when you spaz like that. Oh, no. Okay, you're fine. So they drag him out in the front entrance with the gates. They see that there's two more men. Ernie goes out to take care of them. He points a gun at them and says, don't move and drop your weapons. One of the cars in front has the keys inside, so they get into that one. And then they start driving. The two henchmen left behind, they make a call, close the gates. And they start to, Yale is driving. They see the gates are closing, and I think Curtis asks, will you make it? No, Yale asks, what I was saying. Ernie asks Yale, will you make it? And Yale's like, it'll be a tight fit. Words to that extent. And he makes it. There's also a henchman in front that shoots at them, but it doesn't help. So he makes it. He gets right out through the door. He makes it right out through the door. And not through the door, through the gates. Through the fucking gates. He makes it out through the gates. And now the other car with the henchmen, he wants to follow them, but unfortunately for him, as they already said, close the gate. That's it. No point. And at no point, the gate closes on him. And Watson's off. Now, sorry to telling Grandma, he likes to run to the window. But yes, Yale yells at not Yale, the henchman's like, no, open the gates, but it's too late. He bumps right in with the car into them. And, that's it. And they got Scipio now, and we see them back in the prison where they're holding Brunetti. So they bring him down. Brunetti's yelling, "Hey, who are you? Why you have me here? Tell Scipio that you'll pay for this. Tell him I said so." And then Curtis pulls off his mask and says, "Tell him yourself." And then they see each other, and he's like, and Scipio's like, "Brunetti?" So then Curtis kicks him in the butt and shoves him down to his own cell. And he tells him, "Well, we are justice. You've been corrupting the city. There's no justice from the law, so we've decided to take it into our own hands." Ooh. So, Brunetti's like, "How long are you going to keep us here?" And Curtis tells him, was it Curtis? Yeah, Curtis. "Till you pay for your crimes." That's how long they're going to keep him there. And Brunetti yells, "You're all crazy." And Curtis says, "Don't make any plans for your old age." And that's it. They leave the prison where they held them. When they're holding them. But is there something? Oh, is that the train? No, that's not the train. Yeah, that's it. They leave him there with Brunetti yelling, "You're crazy," and some other stuff. And that was the story of issue 1. Alright, for a conclusion, let's get to the art. Now, this is an old comic, but I'll still not show the whole thing. So here's the beginning. There's Curtis, Yale, Ernie. It's interesting that Yale doesn't hide his face better. Because it's, you can see his hair. Probably a stylistic choice, but not very smart. He should be more covered. There we go. That's the reporter lady. That's Brunetti. There you can see. I like this panel here. It's very cool. I like how the moon is blue. Hey, see, there's that lodge keeper. At least he got to live. At least he got to live. I got this comic from the magazine stand here, and I think it had some water damage. So I don't know, the pages feel a bit off. Could be wrong though. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. We got some killing here, so brace yourselves. Yeah, you see, got some gunshots. Yeah, we'll see. Perhaps I'll age restrict this video just in case. Now that you don't see too much gore, really. You see, there's a Yale slightly freaking out about this. Understandable. Alright, so now I'll just show you the prison cell. So yeah, the art style is good. I like the colors. The art is solid. And you see he's waking up. You see he's chained like this. Just to make it even harder for him to escape. Although, granted, I don't know how he will escape. Okay, so here, we'll stop here. You see, that's where they're being held. Him and Scipio. So I think this is underground somewhere, but you see it has multiple cells. So I guess this used to be a prison of some kind, maybe? I don't imagine these were rooms, right? If these were rooms for something, they wouldn't be like this. I mean, imagine having to climb in and out of your room. Not really that convenient, and the doors are meant to be locked, so... yeah, wherever they are, they're not gonna like it. Oh, sorry to wonder where they can go and go to the toilet in here. Is there a toilet? I don't think there's... and there you can see the bed. Yeah, I think this was a prison. Alright, so that was the art. Excellent. Good art, and I do like their look. So though, like I said, this is a bit impractical. Still very cool looks for each of them. As you can see, the masks are different. I got Ernie. I got their guns. Alright, now onto the story. So this was really cool. The story is really gripping from the beginning. You jump right into, to a scene outside of the court, the reporter lady talking to Brunetti. You really get you see that he's the bad guy here, the more you read. And it kind of throws you in there. It doesn't explain too much. It just shows you how it is, the whole mafia thing, him getting away with things. And then we got these three interesting characters who normally you think wouldn't collide together, for somehow joining forces in order to do what the law hasn't been doing. And how he's putting these people to justice. It looks like Brunetti and Scipio have done a lot of shit in the city. And like the reporter lady says, no one's helping. The law's useless against them. And she even says, is this what we come to? We need gunmen to enforce the law here. Which is sad. Essentially, you have three vigilantes doing what the law and the police won't do. Because, who knows, maybe Brunetti and Scipio and everyone have the police bot. Because she said in the beginning that he probably got to the jury, which is why he was free to go. Yeah, I suppose we'll find out much more as we go further in. I'm definitely going to pick up this whole series and read it. I have issue 2, I'm pretty sure, so I'll need to find out and get to it. Because I would love to know what happens next. Oh, there's Watson again. Yeah, so a cool story. Looks like it's gonna go to an interesting place. I really want to know how these three got together. Like, what drew them in? How they even met? As again, you got Yale, a rich man. You got Curtis, a criminal and crazy. And then you have Ernie, who's your average man, really. He's got a wife, family. You think, but I think all three of them, at least Curtis and Yale are connected. Not Curtis. At least Ernie and Yale, I think, are doing this because of, the life in the city. Because for Ernie, he's worried for his kids with all the criminality. And what's going to happen to them. Oh, hello, Vasya. Yale, I think, because of what happened to his girlfriend. Now, I don't know about Curtis, why he's in on this. Granted, maybe Yale has found him somehow in order to help them. Because I presume he is a professional criminal and thus would know what to do. I think maybe that's why he's there. Yale's obviously the money. And Curtis and Ernie... I think Ernie might be there because if he was a soldier... His experience would be also very helpful. And he'd be tough enough to do this job. We'll see, though. And I do wonder what would be the plan in the future. Are they planning to just keep them imprisoned? It is a wonder if that's really the best solution. I mean, you get rid of one mafia boss, there's probably another one who will rise. Doesn't entirely fix the problem, but then again, something like this will never end, really, will it? There'll always be someone new. Oh, we'll see, because it does say that these two, Brunetti and the other one, they won't be the last. So I do wonder, Watson, don't do that. So I do wonder who else are they going to capture. There's probably more mob bosses we don't know about. But yes, like I said, I'm looking forward to reading the story and see what happens next. It's very interesting, and Andrew was right up my alley. Alright, so that is it, folks. Let me know what you think. Have you read this one? What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Oh yeah, and yes, if you like violent stories or stories with gangs and crime, I think you'll enjoy this one very much. It's definitely got all of those things. So yeah, might be right up your alley too. But again, if you don't like violence, I wouldn't recommend this one. Alright folks, so I've already said, so remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!